chapter number 1. Okay. What do you mean by audit? It's an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, irrespective of its size or legal form. Why do we do this? With the view of expressing an opinion thereon. Okay, sir. Now, what do you mean by engagement? It means an arrangement to do something in the context of auditing. It means formal agreement between whom? The auditor and client, where you provide to you auditing services, and the letter is called as engagement letter. Clear? What is the purpose of external engagement? So that my user's confidence is enhanced. Enhanced means what? Improved or increased. Then we also understood what are the points to ensure that financial statements are not misleading. Which are those? The account should be as per books of account. That is, financial statement should be as per books of accounts. Entries should be having sufficient evidence. Nothing should be left out. Nothing should be added. Meaning what? Anything that is relevant should not be left out. Anything that is not relevant should not be added. Like for example, personal expenses should not be there in the financials. Business expense should not be left out of financials. Information should be clear and unambiguous. Amount should be properly classified, described, disclosed. And whatever statement should it there should give true and fair picture of operational results as well as assets and liabilities. Then what are the two objectives? To obtain reasonable assurance, and second one is to report reasonable assurance about what? Financial statement. What you should say? They do not have material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. And ultimately, I'll be able to give my opinion. Okay. What is the scope of audit? Number 1, cover all areas of enterprise which is relevant to financial statements only, which means other than FS, we are not bothered about it. Clear? Number 1. Number 2, we need to have reliability about the data. What data? Accounting records and other source data. How do we get it? By studying and evaluating the systems first. Number 2, performing some other tests. Clear? Third, I told you these are 1 point only, so for me it is point number 2. Point number 3, relevant information must be properly disclosed. How do we check that? Compare FS with source data. Check whether judgments are properly included in the financial statements, properly disclosed or not. Then, can I do anything outside the scope? Not allowed, sir. Am I expert in authentication of documents? No. Which means tomorrow if my client gives me a fake document, I will still believe it, because I'm not an expert in authentication of document. But in case where you find some hint, don't ignore, investigate that. Investigate means not investigation, investigate. Find out the reasons. Okay? Then, it is not an official investigation, and if there is any constraints on the scope, disclose in your report. What are the aspects covered in the audit? Same as usual, continuation of scope, system of accounting system and ICS you have to check, other systems you have to check, arithmetical accuracy you have to check, authenticity and validity of transactions, proper distinction between capital and revenue, comparing the balance sheet P&L with source data, verification of asset, verification of liability, checking P&L results, and in case of a corporate body, requirement must be complied with and reporting to the person who appointed us. What are the advantages? MSD will bring future. M, moral check. S cube, settling liability, settling trade dispute, settling. Understood? Clear? Okay. Then, detection of wastages, whether proper books of accounts and allied records have been kept, and reviews the existence on operations of various control to report weakness. Government also wants audit. Then, people who are not interested or not associated, like what, sir? Public at large, government, bankers, we call them as stakeholders in the society. Even they will get benefit out of audit. What are the inherent limitations? 5 things. Number 1, nature of financial reporting. Number 2, nature of audit procedures. Number 3, in audit procedures, we have practical limitation as well as legal limitation. What is practical limitation? Management not giving information and sampling. Example of legal limitation, not an investigation, therefore I don't have specific legal power. Then, not an official investigation, timeliness of financial reporting and decrease in relevance. Finally, future events. Next, is audit mandatory or voluntary? or not always legally mandatory, but in some cases it is mandatory, in other cases it is voluntary. Okay. Appointment. I've given you thumb rules. What is in case of appointment? The one who is the owner will appoint us, and who do we report to? The one who appoint us. We will report to them. Okay, sir. Then we went on to see what is assurance engagement. Assurance engagement is where a practitioner gives conclusion on an outcome of the subject matter against a criteria. This subject matter is prepared by whom? Responsible party. Used by whom? Intended users. Cool. Then, meaning of audit and review we did today. What is audit? More procedures. Review? Less procedures. What assurance we give in audit? Reasonable. What assurance we give in review? Limited. Got it? Clear? Okay, sir. Then apart from HFI, we have one more type of assurance given under PFI. Correct? What does that PFI means? Prospective financial information. What are the assurance engagement here? Budgets, forecasts, combination also is possible. Clear? Which gives moderate level of assurance? PFI. Which gives lower level of assurance? Compared to audit? Review. Which gives high level of assurance? Audit. Understood? Okay, sir. Qualities. We have always understood you should have exhaustive knowledge of accounting, basic human qualities, correct? And you should have proper training in your forte. That is your subject. Okay, sir. Why do we require standards? To be at par with global practice, to improve of reporting, promote uniformity, and to have professional knowledge and skill. Finally, ensuring. Alright. What are the duties? Following the standards is my duty. If I feel there is one particular procedure which is ineffective in the standard, what am I supposed to do? Depart from the standard and give the importance to purpose, but document the alternative procedure, and in a report draw their attention. Okay, but just because it is ineffective, can I skip it? No, I should try doing it, and only then I should go for the alternative. Is that clear? Got it? Yes, sir. These are your chapter number 1. Case study to homework. MCQs. Clear? Yes, with this, we complete chapter number 1.